Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming with another small update on Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is not something that's happened in the game, it's more another kind of my overview of the way the game plays. I think I said in the last video, if you watched it, that I just finished the mission War of the River Kings and I was back in my kingdom. I got the various things to do to decide what to do about Pitax, which is where the war was. And once I was done, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen next. There wasn't any sudden advisor quest or anything much going on. There's this thing ongoing where you have to sort out this curse that keeps coming back. And it was still another month, I think, till that happened. And I wasn't sure whether that was kind of like a key point where it changes to the next chapter. Because I think, like I said, I think that's happened about 6 times in the game. And I think it's been about 6 chapters. But anyway, regardless of that, and I've not got to that yet, it's about 2 weeks or a week away still. One of the thoughts about this game, which I think I've mentioned before in another video, is what I don't like about this game, and considering it's a very, very long game, is this part, especially later game, where between main quests you've really got nothing to do other than kind of go wandering aimlessly. So, and the things to wander aimlessly at become further and further away because you've been to everywhere near. So I've been to all these places, everywhere in all these areas many times. So it's just Pitax really, and there's a couple of things over that area, but that's a long way as well. So I went to claim anything that you can claim, little bonuses you get for your kingdom. I went around all the roads I hadn't explored. There's a few places I still haven't been, but I went to a couple of forgotten mines and secret shrines and things like that, and it was like maybe one lot of loot or goods there and one enemy, not a boss enemy, just an enemy. It was alright, it's fine, but it's not what you want to be doing when you've been playing a game for tons and tons of hours and you're just killing time. So then I went all over there, did that for quite a bit, came away back to my kingdom, and then I ended up with this, and it's another thing I mentioned before. One of the things, again, that's annoying about this game is the two things combine, really. So you've got the thing where you haven't got anything to do, especially later game. Early on in the game, when you've got all the companion quests and there's loads of other things going on, there's usually things to do, and you've not discovered all the area even remotely close by. But the longer you go on, you've done your companion bits, or at least for the time being, and there's not new things happening, and to go to new places where there may just be a couple of bits of loot that you don't really need anyway, and 1 or 2 enemies to kill, which won't really help you leveling up. There's nothing else to do. So the other thing that's annoying is this thing which I mentioned once before, which is in the throne room you've got these events, and what I don't like about these a lot, I think it detracts from the game. It's the one thing I could say that really detracts from the enjoyment of the game, it's this. I could live with the going around and aimlessly doing nothing, because you can come to the throne room and you can see in the chance time as long as you want. It wouldn't be an ideal method, but you can. But this I don't like at all. So by the way, that's the mission where that curse thing comes back in 2 weeks. So that's the next main thing that's going to happen, or the next thing that's going to happen. So the only other thing you get are all these missions where you can put your advisors on them, and they almost always end in failure or disaster. You see, that was a disaster, that's a failure. We couldn't assign anyone to that one because we basically didn't have anyone over to assign to it, so that's a failure. That was a disaster. That was not that kind of mission. It was just you help your advisor do something, so that wasn't a failure possible mission. That one you can just see there. If I put my regent on that, is +9 to community, and she's got no chance of success. No chance. Imagine you could put someone who works in the village shop on the mission, they would have at least a 1% chance of success, and she has no chance of success, which is just stupid. This one, everyone's busy that could do it, so I can't put anyone on that. That one, the person's busy. That one, the person's busy, they wouldn't be able to do any with that one. We're going to fail, we're on it, but the chance of success is 0, so we might as well do that as well. This one, they're both busy, but if they could do it, they probably wouldn't be able to. Amari is the best one at doing any of these advisor missions I've had virtually from the beginning of the game. She is almost always the best one if you can use her. In some you can't. She's only 11%, and she's got +16 to military. So it's like, what the hell? So, and I've done all the missions, I've done everything I needed to do, I've claimed other kingdoms, I've won a war against Pitax, I've become crowned the Queen of the River Kingdoms, and yet I've still got almost impossible chances of doing these things. And some of them, which I go to, these are called projects, they're a bit different. There's these ones are success because they're just to do it, you just pay points, you don't have to have a failure chance. So you've got these things, which is also annoying, where you have no candidate. That doesn't mean someone's not available because they're busy, because that they would show you they're busy. This is because my counsellor was somebody that I got rid of for various reasons, and you have no candidate, so you can never do that. That one, I haven't got any one thing. That one, I can never do that because I haven't got a counsellor. That one, I can never do that because I haven't got a counsellor. That one, I can never do that because I haven't got a counsellor. That one, I can never do that because I haven't got a counsellor. And that one, I can never do that because I haven't got a counsellor. And again, same problem. You have a situation where you have limited advisors. I haven't got all the advisors I could get, I think, but even if I did, there's too many quests in the advisor tabs to fill them all in, because it's never a quest that everyone can do. It's usually limited amounts of advisors can do them. And like I said, not only do I not have enough advisors, but they can't even do the quests they're on because their success rate is incredibly annoying. And then you've got that thing with the counsellor where you haven't got a counsellor, so you can't completely can't do certain things, and that spoils the game a lot for me, because if you are crumbling and your empire is failing because you're doing the wrong things, that's fine, that's what all games do. But if it's failing because either A, you haven't got enough people to put into roles, or B, you're not allowed to fill roles if a certain particular person isn't in your party or gets kicked out or dies, and 3, if your advisors who you spent ages levelling up and doing things with can't even to 0% solve any missions, then that's not really fair, is it? So I don't like that part of the game. It becomes worse later on. It's much harder to get critical crisis points, that's what they're called, crisis points, which you can add to missions to help you do them. But it won't help, like for example, that a mission with Amiri that's 11% success. If I used a crisis point, it would probably knock it up to about 30, and that wouldn't mean she would solve it, and then that's that point gone. So they don't necessarily, early on in the game when you've got less missions, more crisis points, and you starting off with 50-60% chance of doing missions, that will make you succeed, but it wouldn't help now anyway, even if I had 2 or 3. So it's something that it's very very detracting from the game, from the gameplay, because I kind of know that this whole war, loads and loads of time in Pitax beating that idiot king, when I come back I'm going to be having tons of problems at home because there's nothing I can do about what's going on. There'll be things that I failed, things that I just didn't have anyone to appoint that failed, and other things that have come up that I haven't got anyone to do, or they won't be able to do it. I think it would also help if you had this thing here called a region, which I think it would be helpful if you could appoint someone as a region, and rather than just be a name on the advisors, it would be someone who could, because of their level of power, could kind of control things when you weren't there. I don't mean like an AI playing, that's not what I mean. I don't mean they would literally assign people to missions or manage it themselves, but because of their ranking, and you could appoint whoever you wanted. And I'm thinking that would be important as well. You could appoint any character to any role. So for example, if I appointed Amiri as my regent, which I would do without any question, she would be a very hands-on kind of general, no-nonsense person, and that would solve a lot of the problems if she was just there as a figurehead while I wasn't. I think that would be a good way around it as well. But I don't know, I know there's a second game which I've actually got as well, which I've not played yet, called Pathfinder War of the Righteous, and I hope in that they've done something to kind of change up how this goes. Because it's annoying, and like I said, it's annoying if you weren't doing all the right things, but when you've done all the right things, I'll just show you in this. So you can see there, from the journal, like I've done that one. It's just 'cause I didn't confront that guy, which I already went into in a previous thing, but I still beat the annoying king and took over Pitax. I've done all these. That's a DLC thing, which I didn't do because it was didn't have time really. And all these I've done, completed, all of them. That one, I did do it, but what happened was it didn't work out apparently the way the story was meant to, because I had to have a fight with those people, but I still did it. Haven't done that one yet, but that's just one little thing. That one again, I did it, but I didn't quite complete the tournament in the way the game wanted me to, so I felt that that wouldn't mean all these things would go wrong. I've done all these, done all these, I've done all these. So I've done as many as I can. Some of them you need, that one is something you can't decide. That's that curse thing that comes up when it does. And some of these you can't do. They're just small little things. Some of them are things that you have time to do them, to be honest, because you've got so many things going on that you haven't got time, and you're always, like I said, when I'm away in Pitax fighting, I can't be doing all these other little quests and worrying about that. And there's a few of these little errand things that I didn't do, but I've done loads of them, let's just say that. So it's a bit unfair that you end up with a crumbling kingdom and riots and every time you sort of go away because of all the things I've mentioned. And I hope that in the second things are addressed, because like I said, it's unfair that you go away to fight a war, win the war, come back, and through no fault of your own, just because either A, there's not enough people to sort out your problems, or B, they can't because they've got such a low rating for some reason, that you're actually losing when you kind of won. It's really weird. Anyway, apart from that, like I said, I like the game, but I think late on, with all the things I've mentioned, it begins to drag, because the time between big missions, there's nothing really to do, and you're spent either wandering around the place doing minor stuff while your kingdom crumbles because you can't really resolve anything. It would be nice to have that time if you could use your advisors to sort out stuff and go on these little missions, but you can't, because your advisors can't do anything right, and you haven't got the time to go on little missions because you're so away coming back to your kingdom and finding it's all gone to pot. So anyway, that's just my fault. Like I said, you can skip days, and I'm going to skip forward now to the next curse attack, because to be honest, there's no point of doing anything until then. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. Till next time, take care for now.